Sometimes ADHD can make business hard, but that doesn't mean your ADHD has to destroy your business. There is a way to leverage the benefits of ADHD and work with the challenges in an ADHD way so that you can do really well in your business. And we're going to talk about that. So, first, I just want to acknowledge there are some legitimate challenges that come with ADHD, and I can't list them all. Some of the ones I see, definitely decision paralysis, people struggling with, should I do this or this? I don't know. I don't know. Definitely difficulty with RSD, rejection sensitive dysphoria, which then can make it hard to put yourself out there. You might struggle with motivation, getting yourself to start and complete tasks, especially if they're uninteresting. You might have shiny object syndrome where you're like, oh, I should do this and I should do this. And because of time blindness, you don't realize that those things are going to take more than just a little bit of time. It could be that you have a hard time being able to prioritize, really knowing where your energy needs to go. And you might have a hard time sustaining attention. Like you might have a hard time directing your focus and then sustaining your attention. So, those are just some of the things that I see as really, really common for ADHD women entrepreneurs. And if you let them rule the roost, then business will be very, very hard and your ADHD might end up destroying your business. And in no way do I want to say, nope, there's a cure for ADHD. Just stop doing those things because that's not really how it goes. ADHD is part of how your brain is wired. And part of the reason these tasks are so hard is because we live in a neurotypical society that expects things to be done a certain way at a certain time and what have you. So, because we learn neurotypical ways of doing things, because we're trying to navigate this neurotypical society in the best way we can figure out, it can make our ADHD not be super great all of the time for business. I do want to say, and you may have heard me say this before, ADHD is actually necessary evolutionarily speaking. Think about it. When we needed people to be really good at spotting random berries that might be a good food source, oh yeah, who do you saw that? What about hunting? Who do you think saw that? Who do you think saw the danger? And that doesn't mean the neurotypical folks didn't do things. They were able to do the more routine things, the consistent things that neurotypical folks are really skilled at that our ADHD brains are like, "Ah, gosh," right? So we all work together historically to do this. There's evidence that we did, and it's really cool. And in our present day society, that is not yet commonly honored. But you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, so you can make it be honored in the business that you create. You can actually harness the positive or the benefits of the ADHD brain for your business and then learn to live and work the ADHD way so that you're limiting the impact the challenges of ADHD has on your business and your life. So I want to talk about some of these strengths or benefits, I should say, of ADHD for entrepreneurship. Like our brains are practically wired for this shit. Seriously, we tend to be big picture thinkers, which is what entrepreneurs are, is big picture thinkers, and we're creative. So all that together makes us really good at problem solving and identifying like, oh my gosh, this is a great product. Right now, the problem is we're like, oh, and I could do this, and I could do this, and I could do this. So there's ways that we can learn to rein some of that in. But we're great at seeing the big picture and understanding what needs to happen to shift things. And then we're creative. So we have creative solution to be able to do those things effectively. We also tend to have a strong passion and drive for things that we're interested in. So once we have that idea, we're like, yeah, I'm right. Once you decide to do it. And that's one of the pieces on how you learn to work with your ADHD. But our passion and drive can be unstoppable. If you've ever been in a hyper focus about something you're passionate about for your business, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Not to mention our common energy and enthusiasm. Many ADHDers tend to have a lot of enthusiasm and tend to be higher energy. Now, maybe not the inattentive folks, like you may or may not experience that. Some may not. But because of that, we tend to attract people to us and we tend to get people excited about what it is we're doing. and also can motivate ourselves. We also tend to be really empathic and have a higher level of emotional intelligence because we're really sensitive people, many of us. And so, if this is you, you're going to be able to empathize not only with the clients that you have and your team members, but also with prospective clients. You'll be able to understand them and really hold space for them and identify how you can uniquely help them, which is an amazing gift as an entrepreneur to have and something that your ADHD tends to bring. So, in addition to this, we also tend to be very adaptable and we can be risk takers. So, being adaptable, a lot of us are like, oh, sure, let's just do that. I think comes because we're used to switching gears so much. That adaptability is so essential when you're an entrepreneur because you need to have this experimenter mindset as an entrepreneur to be successful, where you're like, oh, we'll try this and see how it goes. And you try it long enough to get some data. And if you look at the data and you notice, oh, this really is not effective, this isn't working, then you're able to shift gears more quickly and try something different. You're able to adapt to what's going on. These are just some of the many benefits of ADHD for entrepreneurship. And as you harness those, you can then be able to work with some of the challenges. So, you heard me talk about some of the challenges, and a lot of times they come down to few key things to work on. Some of it is setting up your days to work for your ADHD brain, finding ways to make things interesting, doing projects at times when your energy is in that kind of mode. So if you have a creative project to do, like a YouTube video recording or a podcast, do those things when you are most in the mood for them, when your energy is aligned with that. When you set yourself up that way, you'll be able to feel more motivated and then be able to not only start, but complete those tasks with greater ease. I know for me, if I try and respond to emails first thing in the morning, I'm not in that energy. And then it zaps my energy for the whole day because I have to do it from a place of willpower. And we only have a limited amount of that. So it's not effective. So setting your days up to work for your ADHD brain, and it might be that each day looks a little different. That might be how it is. Or for you, you might find that you do well with some kind of skeleton routine to keep you on track. It's also important with ADHD to figure out how to prioritize, be clear on what you actually need to do, be clear on where your business is going, what your vision is, and then be able to prioritize the things that you actually need to do and start to shut out, turn off the noise on everything else. It's figuring out how to deal with that shiny object syndrome and stay connected to the goals that you've decided upon for right now. And whether that means you have like a notebook or something where you write, it's your idea notebook and you write down all the cool stuff, or maybe you have a note in your phone, whatever it is, you're able to stay focused on the thing you're doing now, remembering that those other things may or may not be a fit, but you can come back to them later. When you're able to do that, when you're able to say no to yourself, when you're able to say no to others and really focus on the priorities for you and your business, you're going to be able to focus and direct your attention more effectively. In addition to that, there are evidence based ways that you can improve your brain's ability to concentrate and stay focused in the moment. My favorite is mindfulness, and I've talked about that in another video, so you can check that one out as well. Mindfulness is an amazing way to build your ability to concentrate, to stay focused on what you've decided to direct your focus on. Another big piece is motivation. So with ADHD, we tend to be motivated to do the quote unquote wrong things or not the priority. And there are, oh my gosh, so many different ways you can motivate yourself to do stuff. Some of it is a vision board. Some of it is being clear on, like, oh, okay, if I do this, then I get this. Some of it is making things interesting when you need to do them. aligning your energy with the task. We've talked about these different things that are going to help you be able to motivate yourself. But if you can find ways to prioritize, to focus, to deal with distractions, and to feel motivated to be able to start and complete tasks the ADHD way, then you can really sink into the benefits and really do well in business with ADHD. So if you're watching this and you're like, how do I do that, Jen? These are great things. I cognitively get it. I have a program that helps you do that. I have a lower tier option that's just a program only that starts to help with this. But then I have another program called Ascend, which actually helps you do all this, but also deal with some of the underlying inner obstacles like fear and self doubt and getting into overwhelm that actually keep you from being able to do the things you know you need to do. So I'll put the links for both of those in the description of this, and you're welcome to check it out. Otherwise, make sure you're subscribed and comment what resonated for you. Take care.